Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yo Nityamachyutapadam Bhujigma Rukma Vyamohatastaditarani Trinayamene Asmadguroho Bhagavatosi Dayaika Sindhoho Ramanujasya Charanau Sharanam Prapadhye Yasya Smaranamatreena Dvaitavasana Pramuchyate Bodhatmakaya Namastasmai Bhagavate Shri Ramanamarshaye Hridakashe Sadabhantam Shantamanandarupinam Jnanabhavanamaham Vande Sadgurum Shri Satyasayinam Amantaryaminam Janaki Kantasmaranam Among the three wives of Dasharatha, three principal wives of Dasharatha, Sumitra was a jnani. Swami credits Sumitra with being a Mahajnani. What is one of the marks of her being a jnani? She had two sons, Lakshmana and Shatrughna. Any mother, and a lot of mothers are here, naturally have attachment to their children. Would like those children to be with them, to be reared by them, to be brought up by them, to lavish their affections upon those children, and so on and so forth. However, in Sumitra's case, Lakshmana was inseparable from Rama. Shatrughna was the same with Bharata. And they were not living in one house. It was a huge palace. There were several units. It is almost like one of our houses itself, So Kausalya's is one place, Kaikeyi's was another, Sumitra was another. Suppose Sumitra never had those two children with her. Right at the beginning when they were born, she also had the children, but they were incessantly crying. No matter what, other two children were happy, but these two children were crying. Other two were also not quite happy, but not crying as badly as these two. As a new mother, she was panicking when Vasishtha was consulted, and Vasishtha, through his Divya Drishti, figured out what had happened. What had happened, we had already said that in the story earlier, that when the payasam of Sumitra was stolen away, half the payasam came from Kausalya, the other half came from Kaikeyi. Therefore, these two children, Lakshmana and Shatrughna, were born one from Kausalya's half of the payasam and the other from Kaikeyi's half. Therefore, they were naturally attached to the other half of the payasam, which was Rama and Bharata. Vasishtha discerned this, and therefore he said, you take Lakshmana and leave him on the same cradle as Rama. Do likewise with Shatrughna and Bharata. The moment these children were laid like this, they were immediately quiet. They started to play happily. From that moment onwards, Sumitra, although she had two sons more than any other of these queens, Kausalya had only one, Kaikeyi had only one, Sumitra had two. But in spite of having two, it was as though she had none. Because the children would grow up, one in this palace, one in the other palace, who was with her? That kind of detachment will not come if you practice it. Now immediately all the mothers might think, I will also have to practice it, I will send my child to somebody else's house. Will not come with practice. This is not something to be practiced. This is a product of the jnana that she already had. This is the problem, when we listen to these ideals, we want to practice them. We want to follow whatever seems to relate to us. But it is not for us following. We have to understand how they got there. You cannot imitate these characteristics and attain anything as a result of it. You will only be heartsick. You will only have a heartache if you try to do any of these things. This is not for imitating, this is not for doing it, emulating it or anything. It is to understand the state in which they were. Sumitra was a jnani. Therefore, she, on looking at Kausalya crying, felt amused. Your son was with you for 24 years, he is going away for 14 years. My sons have both been away from me for 24 years. Do I not look like a human being to you? Do I not look like a woman to you? Do I not look like a mother to you? Are you the only mother in the entire universe? She is feeling inside. I find that very commonly happening here in this country also. Because those of these youth, who have their parents here, the parents are here, and they say, oh, parents, anything they want, they'll go to seek help from the parents. The parents also will do all kinds of help for the children. Somebody was telling me about this, and at that time I said, do I not look like a human being to you? My parents are not here, they're somewhere else. Neither are we with them, nor are they with us. Are we not human beings? Are we subhuman beings that we can live like this? Only you alone have children, and you alone should have the children with you. What nonsense is this? So Sumitra looks at Kausalya and she says, do not grieve. Our child Rama is upholding an extraordinary dharma. He has come in the lineage of Raghukula. What do you expect? And of all the kings that have come in Raghukula, he alone is the crest jewel. Raghukula Bhushana he is. Bhushanana jewel. He is the great jewel that is shining in our clan, in our lineage. Hey Kausalya, he is bringing joy to you. If he stayed back here, people will not speak highly of you. You may have temporary joy, but eternal infamy. On the other hand, by going, he is revealing his extraordinary beauty. What is Rama's beauty? Physically also Rama was charming, but internally that guna that Rama had, the sugunas that Rama had, the beautiful qualities that Rama had were what lent him an otherworldly charm and beauty, and therefore his beauty was unparalleled. Anupama Sundara, Nirupama Sundara. There cannot be an equal or upama, a simile. For Rama's beauty, there are no similes. He is as charming as himself. Tulsidas sings in one of his songs, Raghuvar ki chavi. Raghuvar ki chavi, Raghuvar samubas baniyan chana. What is the equal? Can we say Rama's face looked like what? Like Rama's face. You cannot equate it to anything else in this world. Apparipata Nirupama Sundara Sugunabhirama, and look at him, Kausalya, see the Shanti that he is in. Look at the unshakable inner peace in which he is. It is because of this Shanti in which he is that his entire being is purifying to us. His very name is enough to purify us. If at all we are also in trouble, all we have got to do is remember this Rama and say Rama. We will also become purified. Where but a Pavana Nama he has got. Such a Rama, you should not be crying or bemoaning. Instead, you should be celebrating his victorious return. You should be giving him benedictions and saying, Jaya, 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 Vijayi Bhava. May all good come to you. She puts all of this into a song.
Kulabhushan Rajivanayana Raghukula-bhushan Rajivanayana Kausalyanandana Shri Raghurama Kausalyanandana Shri Raghurama Janaki Vallabha Lavanya Rama Janaki Vallabha Lavanya Rama Nirupama Sundara Suguna Birama Nirupama Sundara Suguna Birama Prashanti Nilaya Pavana Nama Prashanti Nilaya Pavana Nama Jaya Jaya Rama Prabhu Sai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Prabhu Sai Rama Raghukula-bhushan Rajivanayana
Kausalya was pacified. Rama went to break this news to Sita and said, Sita, I'll be back soon. I have to go somewhere. Oh. So shall I have lunch ready? In about 14 years' time, you can have lunch ready. Why? Father has decided that I should go to the forest and Bharata should become the king. Oh. Alright, I'll pack. No. He has only asked me to go to the forest, so I will go to the forest and you stay here. I didn't marry you so that I can stay here. I did not marry you so that I can continue to live my life separately and you live your life separately. I married you so that I can serve you. So that I can be with you. I can help you in your discharge of your dharmas. So, where is the question? Of course, I'm coming with you. Rama said, it is not easy being in the forest. Forest is very difficult. Besides, more than that, you have duties here. You have to look after your father-in-law and mother-in-law. Oh, is that so? In that case, please tell me, have you informed Mother Kausalya about this? Yes, I have already told her. And what did she say? She said, all right, go and come back. Is that all she said? No, she initially said she wanted to come with me. And what did you say? I said her duty is to be with her husband. Right, I get your point. All right. But then, for a mother, she has to stay in the palace and look after her husband. For you have to come to the forest. It is not easy coming to the forest. You think forest is easy? There are going to be all kinds of wild beasts there. There are no roads. There are no chariots. There are no horses. There are no gardens and flowers and so on. Everything is rocky. Rocky terrain, rough terrain. Wild beasts, scary beasts, creepy crawlies, mosquitoes. Are you sure you want to come with all of these things? Very scary, very scary. Janaki looked at Rama and said, my father got me married to you when you broke the bow and proved yourself to be a valorous hero. For some reason, you are acting as though you are a big zero. We are going to the forest, you and me. If we cannot even look after me, what is the use of your weapons? You are saying it's so scary, animals are there, beasts are there. Now I am with you. If I am going alone, okay, fine, I might be afraid. I am going with you. What is there for me to be afraid when you are there? Why fear when you are here? On the other hand, you want wife here and you there. You want wife here and you there, but I am saying wife here when you are with me. Therefore, I shall come with you. There is no way I will stop. Unless you admit that you are simply a woman in a man's disguise. Striyam Purusha Vigraham. Are you a man or a woman? Frightening me like this. I am ready to come to the forest. What is your problem? Why are you so afraid? No, we are going together. All right, come. I also wanted you to come. I also actually wanted you to come. But if I told you to come, then that will be me imposing my wishes upon you. I would not want to do that. On the other hand, when you said you wanted to come, still I tried to dissuade you. In the end, I also want to be with you. Come along, we will go to the forest. Get ready. So when this discussion was going on, Lakshmana came. All right, Anna, I am ready. Come, let's go. Where? To the forest. Where else? What are you joining into the forest for? What do you mean, me joining into the forest? Naturally, you are going, I am going. No. Father said, only I have to go. You have to stay here. Why should I stay here? See, I tell you, Bharata will become the king. Mother Kausalya will be very sad. She'll be very sad. If you are there, she'll feel somewhat nice and happy. Lakshmana, everybody, See, Rama, as long as he stuck to his dharma, he was alright. If he slightly tried to dissuade others from their dharma, they also had arrows ready. Lakshmana said, do you doubt Bharata so much, Anna? Do you think Bharata will not look after Mother Kausalya? Will he not worship her? Will he not look after her? Will he not make sure that she does not shed a single drop? Especially when he comes and realizes everything has happened because of him. Do you think he will keep quiet? He will look after both the parents. We will go to the forest. I will come with you. Lakshmana, are you sure? No more. When father announced that you are going to be coronated, you came running to me, held my hand and said, Lakshmana, I am going to become the king, but what is this kingship without you? Really, whether I am king or you are king, it is the same thing. This kingdom belongs to you. Abdini did not say, whatever is mine is yours. Abdini, you made a statement. Yes, I did, but no, there is no buts. If you made a statement, that's the only statement that is valid. The moment you said whatever belongs to you is also mine, then if the kingdom is yours, then the kingdom is mine. If the forest is yours, the forest is mine. The impeccable logic. In the logic, bhakti gives this logic. Without bhakti, you use all kinds of logic, it will become tragic. On the other hand, with bhakti, logic also becomes magic. It will work like magic with the Lord, and therefore the Lord capitulates. Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra, who does not bend to anybody, anywhere, at any time. No matter how much Dasharatha tries to convince him, no matter how much the citizens of Ayodhya try to convince him, no matter how much Bharata later on tries to convince him, no matter how much Kausalya has tried to convince him, he does not budge an inch from any of those. Yet, when Sita and Lakshmana counter him, he agrees. Yenna? Pure prema in the hearts of these two. They are not asking for selfish reasons, they are only asking for Rama's reason. Yenna, Sita enna solra theriyuma? Sita says, I will come with you, not so that I can spend time with you, I will walk ahead. I will walk in the front. And with the sari, I will sweep the path so that all the thorns and things are removed from that, so that you may walk freely. And when we are tired in the evening, when you rest, I will press your feet. I will cook for you. I will do all things to serve you. I will not trouble you in any manner. Let me accompany you to serve you. Lakshmana says, Aham sarvam karishye. I will do everything for you. Aham sarvam karishyami. I will do everything for you. I am not coming because I want to, I'll alone be with you. The only reason why I will come is so that I can be of help to you. So I will come with you. Both of them in this manner are only interested in Rama's welfare, Rama's well-being. That is why Rama also cannot say anything, he accepts. They get ready. All his wealth Rama gives away. Tells Sita, Sita, give everything away. We are going to the forest, we don't need any of these things, give everything away, let us go. So they gave up everything and went to Dasharatha's place, which was really Kaikeyi's chambers. That is where Dasharatha was. So they went there. Dasharatha was lying as though he was a wounded bird. A bird that has been fired with an arrow and wounded, brought down like that. He was lying there, breathing heavily and saying, what a great calamity has befallen upon our entire clan because of this woman. But Kaikeyi is not to be budged. She is standing there firm in her determination. Again, when they all come, Dasharatha tries to plead with Rama, Rama, throw me into the prison. Throw me into the prison. I am telling you, throw me into the prison and you take over the throne. Don't listen to me. You become the king. Rama said, knowing me, how can you ask me to do such a thing? Knowing me, how can you ask me to go against dharma and do such a thing? I will definitely not do it. I am happy to go to the forest, not only me. Despite my dissuasion, Lakshmana and Janaki both are wanting to come along with me. Therefore, the three of us will be going to the forest. Three of you? Why all three? Why should this girl go? She was a princess born and brought up in the luxuries and the comforts of a palace. She was married into a royal household. Why should she go to the forest? I will not allow it. Sita said, no, you must allow. Otherwise it will be torture for me here. By keeping me here, you will be imprisoning me. Send me with my husband. That is what I also want. Vashishta also feels sad about it. Even Vashishta says, let Sita be queen. Vashishta is, I am the Kulaguru. Rama is the eldest son. Rama has the right to be king, but for some reason he has to go to the forest. Fine. His wife has equal rights. She can rule over Ayodhya. Kaikeyi was shaken up. Kulaguru, old man, he has got a lot of powers. He can also curse her if necessary. You can't take these old men for granted. Plus, he knows the laws. He is the fellow who was there with this clan from the beginning. Who knows the rules of this clan more than him? The kingdom and all those rules, he knows everything best. So she started to panic. Luckily, Sita said, Swami, Gurudeva, don't do this to me. Allow me to go with my husband to the forest. Seeing all of this, then Dasharatha gives an order. He says, fine, If Rama has to go to the forest along with Sita and Lakshmana, let them go. But here is my final order as the king. My last order as the king. What? Let the entire army accompany Rama. Let the treasuries be emptied and let it all accompany Rama. Let all the engineers that are present in our country go with Rama. Let all the finest cooks and the musicians go with Rama. In fact, let the entire Ayodhya go with Rama. Where Rama is, there Ayodhya will be set up. They will clean the forest, they will lay new roads, they will create a new place. Let Rama stay there for 14 years and let him come back. Let everything be emptied, let it go. Let Bharata rule over buildings. Again, Kaikeyi started to panic. What is this? How can this happen? Why should my Bharata rule over buildings? And Dasharatha looks at her and said, you asked only 2 boons. Only 2 boons you said. 1, Bharata should rule over Ayodhya. 2, Rama should go to the forest. Rama will go to the forest, Bharata will rule, but there was no other condition saying all the people should stay here. They will all go with Rama. This is my command, let them go. Rama himself tells his father, Papa, don't do all these things. It's fine. I'll go and come back soon. Look after yourself. Look after mother. Mother Kausalya will be very sad. You look after her. She never had any joy. You never gave her any joy. He doesn't say it directly. Indirectly, he hints you never really gave her any joy. Finally, she had me and she found some joy. Now you have taken that joy also away from her. He doesn't say that, but it's implied. Dasharatha understands it. Look after her. She may lose her patience. She may say something, she may twit suddenly. She may scold you. Don't take all that seriously. Understand that she's also, hurt by these actions, by these events. So, be a bit patient with her. Kausalya cried, hearing these words of Rama. Even when he is going to the forest, he is thinking only about me. Dasharatha cries, no need to ask. There was not a single pair of eyes that were not wet except Kaikeyi. One more pair of eyes were not wet, Lakshmana's. The reason was his tears were coming into his eyes, but the heat in his body because of the anger was simply vaporizing all those tears even as they were coming up. Then they went around Dasharatha and took his leave. Kaikeyi got robes of bark brought for them. They had to go and live like tapasvis. There was one for Sita also. Sita did not even know how to put it on. How do these people wear it today? Vashishta could not bear it. Dasharatha could not bear it. They all said, enough. It has gone too much. Kaikeyi, stop this nonsense. Your condition was only for Rama to go to the forest. Sita is accompanying willingly. Why should she also go wearing all these kind of crude hemp robes? She will go with all the royal attire. They made her put on good clothes, good jewelry and so on and go. With all of that she went. Taking leave, they paid obeisances to Dasharatha and to Kausalya. Lakshmana went and fell at the feet of Sumitra. Sumitra, tam vandamanam rudati mata saumitrim abravit hitakama mahabahum urdhan upagraya lakshmanam srishtastvam vanavasaya svanuruktas suhrujjane rame pramadam makarshi putra bhartari gacchati vyasani va samruddho va gatiresha tava nagha yesha loke satam dharmo yajyeshta vashago bhavet idam hi vrittam uchitam kulasyasya sanathanam danam diksha cha yajneshu tanutyago mrigeshu cha Lakshmanam tveva muktva samsiddhim priyaraghavam Sumitra gaccheti punah punaruvachatam Ramam Dasharatham vidhi mam vidhi janakatmajam Ayodhya matavim vidhi gacchatat yatha sukham. Sumitra looks at Lakshmana, who is falling at her feet with tears in her eyes. Nevertheless, she embraces him, smells his forehead, and says, my child, you were born for the forest. you were born to live in the forest. Make up your mind like in this way, I was born only to live in the forest, not to live in the palace. And go with Rama. Never be inattentive to the needs of Rama. He is going to the forest, you be constantly on the vigil. Make sure that he does not come to any suffering, into any mishap. You have to make sure he is always happy. Whether it is times of adversity or prosperity, know that Rama alone is your refuge. To be obedient to the eldest sibling is the duty of the younger ones. Yesha loke satam dharmo yajeshta vashago bhavet. It is the dharma of all the younger siblings to absolutely be under the control, the obedience, the submission of to the elder ones. Provided, of course, the elder ones lived like Rama and Uchigongo. Idam hi vrittam uchitam. This is the appropriate behavior for our Vamsha. Adhanala po. Appadinu solli, the only person, everybody else was saying, don't go, don't go, don't go. The only person, Sumitra was saying, Gaccha gaccheti, go, go. Why are you waiting? Go, go, Nadam, Sumitra. Apayarpata Mahagnani. She concludes it all by one statement. She says, Ramam Dasharatham Viddi. Rama, know Rama to be your father Dasharatha. Mam Viddi Janaka Atmajam. Consider Sita to be Sumitra herself. Consider Sita to be your own mother, me. Ayodhyam Atavim Vidhi. Know the forest itself to be Ayodhya for you. Gacchata Tayatha Sukham. Happily go. Peacefully go to the forest. அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கொடுக்குறார். இதுதான் ஞானியுடைய லட்சணம்னு சொல்ல வேண்டியிருக்கு. ஏன்னா difficulties come. Who teaches us to handle those difficulties in the appropriate way? Only a jnani can do it. All the others will say, Chicho, why did such difficulty come to you? You led such a good life. You never did anything wrong. Why did God visit such a thing upon you? Alas, such a thing has come to you. And they will demoralize you. What will the jnani say? You gird up your loins. You were born for this. This is your karma. You cannot escape it. Now do it happily. It looks as though he is indifferent, callous, as though he is so cruel. And he alone is your real well-wisher, hitakama, because all the others can sympathize with you and weaken you at the same time when they sympathize with you. Many times I have said this. When somebody comes to you in trouble, you lend them your sympathetic ear. You lend them a shoulder to cry, but do not lend sympathetic words to them. That will weaken them. Give them words of strength and courage instead. Do not sympathize with them and agree with their sorrow and suffering. Anybody who is sad will think they are unjustly being sad. Don't add to that. Tell them on the other hand, but you should know that. You should yourself be like that. Only then you can tell them. Otherwise, merely telling them will be of no use. What should you be able to tell them? Now, don't worry. This is perhaps part of your life, but there is God. Trust Him. Chant His name. Everything will be all right. Appadinu we should say it. Alas, this has happened to you, should never be uttered. You may be feeling that, but do not say it. Because I have seen once, it so happened that somebody had suffered a bereavement, an unexpected, an accident in our family. And when the elders were sitting in grief, this person came and said, "Oh, you've done so much good. How did this happen to you? All your life you did so much dharma. How did this happen to you?" When this person asked, that person immediately broke down and cried. Until then, he was sitting quietly. I saw that. I was very young. I was very young, but I can remember this scene. And I saw how this person was sitting. I can still remember he was sitting in the middle of the room on a chair, all alone. His son-in-law had passed away. He was sitting on the chair. The light was dim. When we went in, the light was all dim. And he was sitting there like, in grief, but still trying to, pull himself together, keep himself together. And when this person came and said, "You did so much good. How did this thing happen to you?" He broke down. Because that weakened him. Those words of so-called sympathy actually went and hit somewhere very weak. Instead, if they were told, "Doesn't matter, you have the strength to carry on this entire, all of us." If that person had said, then that will be a different story altogether. Encourage others, give strength to others. Do not weaken them for any purpose. You have no right to do that. Give strength to them if you can. Otherwise, keep quiet, shut up. Your contributions are not required at all if you can only make them weak. Sumitra says that. Rama understands that the longer he stays here, the deeper the grief, and therefore he quickly departs. Rama goes, followed by Lakshmana and Sita. Sita alone looks back with a bit of tears in her eyes because she thinks of the mothers-in-law, Kaushalya, Sumitra, Lambatayu, Pavme. Urmila, sister, is there. She also wanted to come. Urmila is Lakshmana's wife. So she told Lakshmana, I'm also coming with you. No, you can't come. Why can't I come? Why can't I come? What is Akka doing? What is my elder sister Sita doing? She's coming along. Then, can there be one logic for the elder sister and another logic for the younger sister? Should it not be the younger sister's duty to follow the elder? Avlo logic adicha. Ana, there Lakshmana was firm. Lakshmana said, Urmile, I'm going to serve Rama and Sita. I cannot afford any distractions. I won't even be sleeping for 14 years. If I don't sleep, if I don't eat, you will be sad. You will be looking at me. Why have you not yet come? Why are you not yet eating? You will be sad, thinking that you are sad. I will not be able to concentrate in my serving Rama and Sita. Therefore, I am asking you, I am begging you a favor from you. Do not come. You stay here. She said, do you know what suffering that will be for me? I know it is a great suffering for you. But you alone are capable of bearing that suffering because you are my wife. You put up with it. Am I going to have a vacation? Am I going to have a holiday? Do you think I am going to have fun in the forest? I am going to be slaving myself in the forest. Not one moment will I be resting. Not one task will I allow my elder brother Rama to do or Sitamma to do. I shall be doing everything. Aham sarvam karishyami, I have made my promise. I will do everything for you. Therefore, I am going to be busy slaving myself. This body belongs to Rama. It is going to slave itself for Rama. You cannot come there and distract me. Stay here. Urmila said, Urmila's greatness in here. She was not an ordinary woman. She did not say, no, how dare you, nothing. In that case, I'll go to my father's house in Mithila. Unnulla. What did she say now? Come back soon. If you are not going to sleep for 14 years, then Urmila also will not sleep for 14 years. Come back soon. That was Urmila's jnana. Because Sumitra was a jnani, her daughter-in-law also was a jnani. Equal, coming up along like the mother-in-law, Urmila, she says, you serve Rama to your heart's content. I will not give any trouble to you. Don't worry. I will not cry. I will not feel sad, because if I feel sad, then you will walk away looking at my sad face and then that face will haunt you. No, you go happily. I will do my duties here, but I will wait for you to come back. Abdina Anandama, she also sent Lakshmana with. Lakshmana had a great good fortune. Because of Lakshmana's bhakti to Rama, this kind of good fortune came. In the Gospel, the author of Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Mahendranath Gupta, in the initial beginning encounters with the Master, he says, if one's wife is an obstruction to one's spiritual progress, if the wife objects and says, you should not go to Dakshineshwar, you should not go and see the Master, what should I do? Then Master Ramakrishna says, you should not listen to that, you should follow the spiritual path. What if she says she will commit suicide? What if she says she will commit suicide if I keep coming in? It is his own story. He presents it as though it's a third person story. It is actually his own story. Mahendranath Gupta had a son. The son passed away. The wife was driven to madness with that grief, almost to madness with that grief. And she became very unreasonable. And when he was also in need for solace, he found Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he found the solace there, he kept coming. He wanted her also to come, she didn't want to come. Not only did she not want to come, she didn't want him also to go. And she said, I will commit suicide if you go. Threaten Banuta. So he was in a quandary. So he came and asked the Master, what if she commits suicide? She says she will commit suicide. Ramakrishna looked at her and said, then let her. Then let her. Such a wife is better off not being there for you. A wife is supposed to be there to help you progress on the spiritual path. If the wife becomes a distraction, what role is she playing? What purpose is there for two people to come together if they cannot help each other spiritually? What is marriage for? Simply to increase the population of the world? Marriage is so that together they can walk along on the path to the Lord, on the spiritual progress. If that itself is going to be an obstruction, Avayar also says the same thing, Kuramal Sanyasam Kol. Avayar was a great Tamil saint, a lady saint, poetess. Once, she was going around, she never stayed in one place, she would wander around everywhere. She went to one place and she stayed outside in that person's or somebody's house. There was an outside porch, she sat down there. The man saw Avayar had come. What a great good fortune, such a great saint has come to my house. Please, you must stay and have a meal. Avayar said, all right, son, I will have a meal. So he immediately went and said, Avayar has come, let us make a meal. That wife was a bit of a, knife. She was more a knife than a wife. She brought endless strife alone to him. And she said, today some Avayar will come, tomorrow somebody else will come. For everybody I have to keep feeding, I have to keep cooking, you have no other job. Shh, she's sitting outside, don't shout like this. She will hear. So what if she hears? She should also know, unnecessarily coming here. She started yelling. This poor man was in such a quandary. On the one hand, he was inclined to serve the holy ones and Mahatmas. On the other hand, wife was like this. Avayar also understood the situation. There was a small piece of charcoal nearby. She took that and she wrote a little poem on the wall of that house and walked away. And when the man came out, he saw those verses. The verse said, the paraphrasing of it is that if the wife is not helpful for you in your spiritual path or in practicing your dharma, then Kuramal Sanyasam Kod. Without telling her, take sannyasa and go away. That's what he did. He took sannyasa and went away. Urmila says, no, you do what is required. I will do what is required. Then, Ramayanathila everybody was interested in fulfilling their dharma only. Nobody was living for their own individual pleasure. Everybody was living for the sake of dharma. Lakshmana was saying, my dharma is to serve Rama, I will do that. Urmila says, your dharma is to serve Rama, my dharma is to serve you in such a way that I will not be of any disturbance to you. If my staying here will help you do your dharma better, then so be it. Naturally sacrificed. They left. Finally they are leaving. As they are leaving, the old Dasharatha, who was fallen down, somehow gets up and comes running with his hands stretched out. He comes running, Yo Rama, ha Lakshmana, ha Sita. Alas, that these people are all going away. How is Rama going? Lakshmana Sevitana, Rama is going. He can, on the one hand, Dasharatha is feeling happy that he has given birth to sons like this, that these are his sons. One son, in order to uphold his own father's words, is willing to happily go to the forest, and Rama is going. Pinadiye Lakshmana is carrying, he doesn't have to go, he is going. My Anna is going, I will go. Dasharatha is feeling mixed joy and sorrow. Pinadiye yaru pora appadina Janani, Janaki is going. Janaki, Sita is also going. She also doesn't have to go. Lakshmana is the first one his eyes fall upon. Is Lakshmana. My son is going to serve his elder brother. Lakshmana. Rama and Pinnadi Janaki Porade. The small little girl. She's such a tender girl that she should go to the forest. Alas, that we should have brought her into our house only to send her to the forest. With great sorrow.
Lakshmana Sevita Lavanya Rama Dasharatha Nandana Rama Raghuvara Janani Janaki Rama Raghuvara Janani Janaki Rama Vaidehi Priya Vaikunta Rama अहल्योद्धारक रामा लक्ष्मण सेवित लावण्य रामा लक्ष्मण सेवित लावण्य रामा दशरथ नंदन रघुवर जननी जानकी रामा वैदेही प्रिय वैकुंठ
Rama, 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 Rama. Constantly calling out to Rama. Dasharatha comes running out of the palace, onto the steps outside, and collapses, unable to take even one step further. The queens rush to pick up the king from the floor. This king who should be living regally, royally, is now fallen upon the ground, upon the dust, and they all come, and everybody bursts out crying. Rama gets on to the chariot that is to be charioteered by Sumantara, and he says, Sumantara, let us leave, let us go. Because king has given instructions, let the chariot and charioteer go with him. He gets on to the chariot, the same chariot that brought him from his own apartments to Dasharatha's apartment in the morning. That same chariot is now taking him, conveying them to the forest. Rama, Lakshmana and Sita on the open chariot. All the people of Ayodhya are seeing. Sumantara is driving there, slowly leading the horses. Horses do not want to go. Neither does Sumantara want to leave Ayodhya so quickly. And as they are going from here, Raghuvara, Rama, Rama, stop, stop. Dasharatha is calling out. The very feeble voice now. And Sumantara is able to hear. Sumantara is Dasharatha's best friend, confidant, his charioteer, his minister, all together. And he says, Rama, the king is ordering me to stop. The king is ordering me to return. He starts to pull the horses to make them stop. Rama says, no, go faster, go faster. But did you not hear the king order? Rama says, that was not the king Dasharatha ordering, that was father Dasharatha ordering. Father Dasharatha is unable to bear the separation from his son, and therefore he says, do not go. On the other hand, the Raja Dasharatha, who is bound by the code of conduct, bound by the word that he has given, bound by the promise that he has made, has ordered me to go to the forest, ordered you to take me to the forest. Obey the king, not the father who is besotted with affection. Dharma Sukshma, the nuance of Dharma, Rama is able to bring out and tell Sumantara, marveling at one way in Rama's sagacity. At the same time, sorrowing that he was not able to get his point across. He thought, one excuse, I can go back. But that also did not work. Sumantara drives the chariot and go. All the people of Ayodhya have come. The news spreads like wildfire. Yesterday, with so much joy, they were decorating the place. Today, they are seeing Rama, Lakshmana and Sita clad in simple forest robes going to the forest. Exiled, they are all unable to make head or tail of what has happened. They all come and stand there. They ambush, they stop the chariot from proceeding. You shall not go. You cannot go. Rama stood up and said, why should I not go? My father has commanded me to go. The kingdom belongs to him. I have to go to the forest. Please allow me to. No, Rama, we cannot let you go. This is not dharma. Rama said, you do not have the rights to speak about dharma. The king has decided that alone is dharma. I, as a son and a citizen, both have to obey this command. I have to go to the forest. Please let me leave to the forest. Do not impede my following my own dharma. All the people said, in that case, Rama, we will also come with you. We will also come with you. How can you all come with me? I have to go to the forest. You cannot come. Rama, don't blame us. Blame yourself. Blame yourself. Why should I blame myself? Who asked you to be so enchanting? Ni sadhana Ramana. Ni Mohana Raman. You are such an enchanting Rama. Your Pavana Nama, Prashanti Rama. Your very name is purifying for us. We are living happily only by taking your name in the hope that we will be able to see you every day. We find Shanti in your presence. இதெல்லாம் உன்னோட குவாலிட்டி தானே. So don't blame us for wanting to come with you. You are so enchanting, you are so charming, you are the very embodiment, the repository, the temple of peace itself. Not only that, are you not filled with compassion? You are Karunanidhi Laya. You are the very treasure house of Karuna, of compassion. Karunya Rama, you are the most compassionate Rama. More than all of that, are you not Bhakta Jana Priya Rama? Do you not love your devotees? Are you not constantly interested in looking after your devotees? Palita Rama, are you not the one who is going to look after us? Apayarpata Ramane, how can you abandon us and go? Therefore, we will also come along with you. Appadinu they all addressed Rama.
Mohan Rama, He Sai Rama. Mohan Rama, He Sai Rama. Pavana Nama, Prashanti Rama. Pavana Nama, Prashanti Rama. Mohan Rama, He Sai Rama. Karunanidhe Prabhu, Karunya Rama. Karunanidhe Prabhu, Karunya Rama. Bhakta Jana Priya, Palita Rama. Bhakta Jana Priya, Palita Rama. Partipurishwar, He Sai Rama. Partipuri Prabhu, He Sai Rama.
Mohan Rama, He Sai Rama. When the populace of Ayodhya followed Rama, all the women in the households of Ayodhya said, it's a pity we cannot come. Otherwise, we will also come. And they looked at all the husbands, they looked at their sons, they looked at their brothers and said, go like Lakshmana went. Bring honor to me, that I can hold my head up in pride only if I can go out and say, my husband has gone with Rama, my son has gone with Rama, my brother has gone with Rama, my father has gone with Rama. And go. All the women drove the men out of their homes too. In this manner, all of them followed Rama. The chariot went. Very slowly it went and reached the banks of the river. It was already evening by the time all this had happened. The people were also tired because it was a long day, tough day, hard day. So they all fell asleep by the banks of that river itself. Rama also pretended to fall asleep. He told Lakshmana and Sita and Sumantra, don't really fall asleep, keep awake. By the banks of the Tamasa river, they pretended to retire, but when all the people, they were so tired, they fell asleep. Normal, common human, frailty. Ahara nidra bhayamaitunani samanyametata pashabir naranam. Everybody needs to sleep. Then if we do not sleep, we feel as though we have lost something. A lot of people say, some people come and complain, I don't get any sleep at all. I said, how lucky? How lucky? Yeah, what is lucky about it? There are those who want to do sadhana, youngsters youngsters are there, poor fellows, they want to do sadhana. But the body, is growing, the body is lot of changes, body gets tired very quickly for youngsters. Youngsters, I'm talking about the teens, not all of you. Up until about 20-24 years of age, body is very active at that time. Lot of things are going on in the body. It tends to be, get tired very quickly. Children are like that. But even if they sit down to meditate, their head will go like this. Even though they do not want to, it will go like this. Sleep will come naturally to them. They will sleep nicely, soundly. Morning, they will find it very hard to wake up. Bhagavan has also kept it like that. As you grow older, no, Bhagavan says, how long will you sleep? Bhagavan is saying, இன்னும் எவ்வளவு நாய் தூங்கி கழிப்பேன்? தோற்றும் உனக்கே பெருந்துயில் தான் தந்தானோ அப்படின்னா கும்பகர்ணன் இருந்தானே, கூற்றத்தின் வாய் விழுந்த கும்பகர்ணனும் தோற்றும் உனக்கே பெருந்துயில் தான் தந்தானோ. தூங்கிட்டே இருக்கிய எப்ப பாரு. As you grow older, you do not need to sleep, you should not sleep. Instead, what should you do now? Find the way to attain the truth. நீ எப்போதான் ட்ரூத், இன்னும் தூங்கிட்டே இருந்தால் என்னைக்கு தான் ட்ரூத் அடையிறது? If you cannot sleep, எழுந்து ஜபம் பண்ணு. You cannot sleep, sleep is not coming, do japa. Who's saying you should not? You're trying desperately to go back to sleep. No, do japa. Do japa. Read something spiritual, do meditation, or listen to some spiritual discourse, you'll automatically fall asleep. வேதாந்த சிரவணம் பண்ணு, தூக்கம் வரலையா? You're not finding sleep. Yoga Vasishtam கேளு, Tripura Rahasyam கேளு, listen to Vedanta, you'll automatically fall asleep. So the common people all fell asleep, and when they were fast asleep, Rama slowly nudged Sumantra. Sumantra woke up, understood. Very silently, this is the beauty of Sumantra as a charioteer. Very silently, he yoked the horses back into the chariot. Bridles and saddles and whatnots, everything went through. Without no noise, no chains clanking, nothing. Rama, Lakshmana and Sita got onto the chariot. Silently, he led the chariot out. All the people are sleeping. He led the chariot out. Rama gave some instructions. Accordingly, they went one way, then they went another way, then they went this way, then they came back this way. Ibriya, they made a lot of tracks, confusing tracks, and went away to the forest. Next morning, all the people wake up. And when the people wake up, to their great shock, there is no sign of Rama, no sign of Sita, Sumantra, nobody is there. Everybody is gone. Did you know? No, I was fast asleep. Did you know? No, I was fast asleep. They always sleeping. கொரட்டை விட்டா அதோட கோட்டையும் விட்டா இல்லையா? தமிழில் சொல்லுவோம் கோட்டை விட்டுட்டான்னு சொல்லுவோம். கொரட்டை விட்டா கோட்டையும் விட்டா. By sleeping, they lost the chance to be with Rama. By giving in to the sleep at that moment, தூக்கமானுமா அவசியமா தூக்கம். But they slept. Valmiki describes it. When they slept, they forgot. They lost everything. They lost all knowledge. Rama went to the forest. They were left behind, and they did not even know which direction he went, because one set of chariot wheels seemed to go this way, then double summer comes this way, then this way. Which way did they go? They are not able to find out. So once again, feeling very sad, they all made a retreat back to Ayodhya, singing sorrowfully. One fellow said, that's all our good fortune, alas, Rama is gone, we are coming back. Another one said, hey, he is come for a purpose. Although he is our Dasharatha Nandana Rama, he is also the most compassionate Dayabi Rama, and he has come for a purpose. Danava Bhanjana Kodanda Rama. He is the Rama who has come to destroy all the Danavas, the Asuras. That is why he has got his Kodandam in his hand. Adanala, let that Rama go, let all Kalyanam happen to him, let all auspiciousness happen to him, let our dear beloved Rama come back safely. Naturally, let us return to Ayodhya. They returned singing sorrowfully.
Shri Ramachandra Jaya Ramachandra Shri Ramachandra Jaya Ramachandra Raghuveera Ranadheera Raghukula Rama Raghuveera Ranadheera Raghukula Rama Dasharatha Nandana Dayabhirama Dasharatha Nandana Dayabhirama Danava Bhanjana Kodanda Rama Danava Bhanjana Kodanda Rama Kalyana Rama Kamaniya Rama
Kalyana Rama Kamaniya Rama Raghuveera Ranadheera Raghukula Rama Rama Rama. Hey Rama, Rama, Raman, they also lamented. But Rama is available if that Shraddha is there. Shraddha and Bhakti are always held together. Shraddha Bhakti அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம் ஒரு phrase. Bhakti alone without Shraddha is not enough. Bhakti is there, Shraddha is not there. Bhakti enough love for God. Who does not love God? Who here does not love God? Who anywhere does not love God? God being love itself, everybody loves Him. That is nothing to our credit, it is entirely to His credit because He is the Mohana Rama, enchanting Rama, He attracts us. But Shraddha is a staying power. Being attracted by Him is nothing, not to our credit, it is His credit, He attracts. But staying with Him, having the qualities that allow us to stay with Him is what is Shraddha here. The Ayodhya people had Bhakti, but Shraddha was not there, they fell asleep. Appo enna achina? They had to miss out on Rama. As they were returning here, in the meantime, what has happened in Ayodhya? Abdiyana, the king, Dasharatha, was picked up from the ground by the queens. Kaikeyi also came and he said, "Chi, do not even touch me. Get lost from my eyes, Kausalya, take me to your chambers." Kausalya nanachinda oru valiya manam vandhudo. Oh, finally you remembered which way my chambers are. All right, let us go. She took Sumitra and Kausalya took him there. He lamented variously. He cried. She cried. She scolds him. He says, "Do not scold me like this. I cannot bear these words from you. For my sake, don't lose your dharma." Kausalya, since the day I have married you, I also know I have not treated you the best way. But not once have you complained, not once have you opened your mouth. This itself is your tapasya. Do not break your tapasya on account of this sinful, wretched person like me. You remain virtuous. I am a sinner, but you remain virtuous. Don't come down from your state of virtue because of my fault. See, this is a nuance that we will always miss. Somebody is abusive to us, we abuse them. Somebody is unkind to us, we hate them, we argue at them, we yell at them, we say, "I hate this person." We say. But you must understand, that person should not be controlling you. That person should not be controlling your behavior. If that person is irritating and you become irritated, then that person has known how to control you. You are responding, dancing to their tunes. Are you happy with this? Do not hate them. Hate yourself instead if you are going to be dancing to their tunes. When somebody is unkind to us, what should we do? Why should we lower our characteristics to suit them? Swami used to narrate a nice story. A sannyasi went to take a dip in a river. As he was having a dip in this holy river, a scorpion which had somehow been washed into the waters was swimming along, was trying to struggle, being swept down the current. His heart was filled with compassion towards all beings, Jiva Karunyam. Adanala, the sannyasi picked the scorpion up with his hands in order to take it and put it on the shore. The moment he picked it up, it stung him naturally because already it is in a state of panic. It does not know what it is doing. Scorpions anyway sting. Adanala, it gave him a big tongue, stung. The pain, he let go of the scorpion and fell into the river. Once again he took the scorpion. Once again it stung him. Once again he dropped it. Third time he took it and flung it onto the shore. Then another person nearby said, "What kind of a fool you are? What kind of a fool you are? The scorpion is stinging you. In spite of it, why are you so bent on saving it?" The sannyasi said, the scorpion's dharma is to sting. Even when somebody is trying to save it is not willing to compromise on its dharma and continues to sting. When a scorpion can follow its dharma so good, so well, I, a sannyasi, should I not follow my dharma? My dharma is to save everybody, help everybody. Just because a scorpion is stinging me, should I stop helping it? No matter what, I will follow my dharma. Abadina, I rescued the scorpion. Another person's adharma should not make us lose our dharma. Another person's ill behavior should not cause us also to behave badly. You stick to who you are. You should stick to what you are, who you are. You should not be influenced by others. They irritated me, so I became irritated. Nobody is irritating you. You are choosing to be irritated. If your hearts are irrigated by love, such irritation will not be there. Prema irundadana, even the so-called irritation will not be irritation. Yeah. வேண்டாத மாமியார் கைப்பட்டா குத்தம் கால்பட்டா குத்தம்னு சொல்லுவார். If you don't like somebody, no matter what they do, it is wrong. If you like them, no matter what they do, you will be willing to put up with it. அதெல்லாம் நம்ம மைண்ட்ல தானே இருக்கு. So if you have prema, then you can bear with everybody. So Dasharatha counsels, pleads with Kausalya and he says, don't let go of your high status for my sake. The night passes very harrowingly for them. Dasharatha remembers an old curse that came upon him when he was a youngster, when he was still the crown prince of Ayodhya, not yet the king. He had gone hunting, and while aiming at what he thought was an elephant, he accidentally struck a human, killed the boy, and the boy, as he was dying, said, "Alas that you have killed me. My elderly parents are blind and helpless. I was the only source of support and solace for them. Now that you have killed me, what is going to happen to them? I came to this river to get some water for their sake. Here, at least the least you can do is take this water and slake their thirst with it and tell them that this has happened to the child." Old blind parents, tapasvis they were. Again, Dasharatha went there and walked there. This old blind man understood from the footsteps itself. He said, "Who are you? You are not my son. I am Dasharatha, the crown prince of Ayodhya. Why have you come? What happened to my son? This is what happened. This is unfortunate event that happened." Apo, this man said, "My son is dead. There is no more life for me." The wife heard the fact that her son was dead. Then and there she gave up her life. She collapsed and died. Dasharatha is watching. One son was killed. Next, the old mother died. Even as he is watching, the father says, "My son is gone. My wife is gone. What is the point of me living?" He lights a fire, gets into it, and he says, "I curse you. Just as I am dying in the sorrow of separation from my son, you will also die from the sorrow of separation from your son." Or shapa. Putra shokatanala shahotum. Like this, he gave a shapa and he passed away. This curse comes to Dasharatha's memory. Alas, this curse is what has now caused our family to reach this state where my son is gone, all my sons are gone away from me, Bharata and Shatrughna are not here, Rama and Lakshmana are not here, none of them are here. I am going to die tonight without any of my sons in the grief of separation. Kausalya said, "Don't say all these things. What is wrong with you? Keep quiet." Sumitra also tried saying all kinds of things. Anna, the king would not be consoled. The grief, the events of the day, they had not slept the previous night. Early morning, they are all woken up. Ellam tired, they fell asleep. That was the last sleep of Dasharatha. In the morning, when the queens woke up, king did not. And that was the end of the great saga of Dasharatha Maharaja. He lived an exemplary life. Extraordinary man he was, a man of great dharma and so on. But one mistake he had committed in the youth, which was inadvertent, it was not even intended. He by accidentally killed a youngster. It was not really something he meant to do. Even now he had to undergo all of the sorrow and suffering only because of his adherence to the truth. But in spite of that, he had a very painful ending, a sorrowful ending. People of Ayodhya also returned. Sumantra comes back to tell the news and then the king dies. I'm skipping a little bit here and there. If I'm going actually by the story, Sumantra goes, leads Rama to a particular place, comes back, reports the news, then the king dies. I'm telescoping it all together. Because the story is about Rama. Everybody else is side characters. Sumantra takes Rama across. They go to a place called Shringiberapura. Shringiberapura is a small principality near Ayodhya. It's a sort of like a forest town. A little town that has come up, a little shanty town that has come up in the forest. Like a hunter called Guha is the ruler, the chieftain of this place. Guha used to study in Vashishta's ashrama along with Rama. Many years ago when Rama was studying in the ashram. Guha, because he was also the son of a chieftain, they are not royal blood, but chieftain nevertheless. Then he also came to, for a few days he also spent some time in Vashishta's ashrama. So he was a classmate of Rama. Rama's boyhood friend, you may say. Nobody else like that was there for Rama. He was Rama's boy. Otherwise, we were brothers. He was a friend of Rama. And so Rama entered into this Shringiberapura. Rama, Lakshmana and Sita enter into Shringiberapura. But Guha comes there. The news comes to him that Rama has come. He comes running. There's a tree. Rama is sitting under the tree. Many years ago, they were friends. Now, Rama, he does not know all the stories that has happened. Rama at least should be the crown prince of Ayodhya. And really his sovereign suzerain. He is subject to Rama. And the old friendship now cannot be paraded. So he doesn't know how to approach Rama. He comes in a distance and stands there. He wants to go and say, Rama, appadina. And anybody who has spent some time with Rama will invariably fall in love with him. They can never forget those moments that they had spent with him. And therefore he remembers each of those evergreen moments. But now there is a big distance between them. Political status creates a distance. He doesn't know what to do, how to approach Rama. Then he is standing at a distance. Rama, who very well knows where he has come. Shringiberapura, theriyu Ramarku. This is our Guha's place. Rama was well informed about all the political affairs around. This is our Guha's place. Where is Guha? I wonder if I should send word to him or whether he will come. Rama is looking for Guha. Guha is standing there at a distance, wondering, should I go? Should I not go? What is the proper protocol? How should I receive him? Again, Rama looked at Guha. At the moment Rama looked at Guha standing there, Rama jumped up from his seating position and ran towards Guha. Like the river rushing towards the ocean, Rama is running towards Guha. Yaru ocean abdina, Rama is the ocean. We are all like rivers, he is the ocean. This is the only ocean that comes rushing to meet us rather than us going to meet him. Again, he catches hold of Guha's hands. Guha is having an Anjali Mudra. Swami, this Swami give me. He takes his hand, pulls him towards himself and gives him an embrace. Takes him close and gives him an embrace. How would Guha feel? Some era Tom, Dick and Harry came and gave you an embrace and no, it was one thing. Sakshat Ramachandran, Bhagavan himself, whether you realize he is God or not, something in him is radiating. Prema is constantly radiating from him, and that embrace has got something in it. Something inexplicable is there in that, something that cannot be put into words, only looked forward to, only experienced, only enjoyed, but it cannot be described. Something is there in it. And Rama pulls him into that embrace. Guha looks at this Rama, but a Prabhu ivar. Yaar ivar. Who is this Rama? Ayodhya Shiromani. The crest jewel of Ayodhya, Dasharatha's Rama he is. He is the Lord of Saketapuri of Ayodhya. Another way, he is the Lord himself, Supreme Lord himself, God himself, Kaivalya Dama. He is the giver of liberation itself. Kaivalyate kudukudiyava. Abher but a Prabhu. Look at those eyes of his when he is looking at me. Where is the glory in those eyes? Where, as a Lord, one of his eyes is like the sun, the other is like the moon and fire and so on. Rama's eyes, when he looks at his devotees, are not blazing like that. On the other hand, they are like the wet petals of a lotus, like the moist and tender, soft petals of the lotus, and the Mari Rajiva Lochanana, Neeraja Lochana. And at the same time, bringing so much affection towards him, generating so much attachment towards him, so that all other attachments can be immediately given up by us. The beauty of God is such that it attracts us to him and automatically detaches us from everything else that is binding us. Adanala bandha vimochanana kandu. And why does he do all of this? Bhakta Parayanan, because he loves us. He loves his devotees. He is ready to look after his devotees. Adanala Bhakta Parayanan arkra Bhagavan. Ultimately, who is he namakku? He is to us the dearest friend, Prana Sakha. The life itself is his. He is our very life. Appear but a Prana Sakhanana Bhagavan Partha. Guha looks at Bhagavan, holds his hand in his embrace and calls out to him.
Ayodhya Shiromani Dasharatha Rama, Ayodhya Shiromani Dasharatha Rama, Saket Ranjana Kaivalya Rama, Ayodhya Shiromani Dasharatha Rama, Neerajalochana Sai Narayana, Bandha Vimochana Bhakta Parayana, Neerajalochana Sai Narayana, Bandha Vimochana Bhakta Parayana, Prana Sakha mere Prabhu Sai Rama, Prana Sakha mere Prabhu Sai Rama, Saket Ranjana Kaivalya Rama, Saket Ranjana Kaivalya Rama,
Ayodhya Shiromani Dasharatha Rama. Always Swami used to tell us, who's your real friend? God alone is your true friend. Nobody else is a friend. God alone is the friend. And Swami Shirindi. Everybody knows a common definition for friendship for a friend. A friend in need is a friend indeed. The only friend that can come to us when we are in need. No matter where we are, in what position we are, in what situation we are, where nobody else can possibly reach out to us, in the inner recesses of our heart, where we are undergoing something that we cannot even speak out to anybody, who's the one friend that we can open our heart out to? Prana Sakha Laya. Prana Sakha, there is no translation for it in English and so on. Best friend nu solra BFF அப்படிங்கற. Best friend forever. And Prana Sakha அப்படினா என்ன சொல்றது? How can you describe it? Prana na life, Sakha na friend, life friend. A soul mate, as it were. The body mate is somebody else. The soul mate is something else. God alone is the soul mate. And the Prana Sakhan Guha looks at this Rama, hears the entire story. Alas, this has happened. He brings all kinds of fruits and food from the forest for Rama to have. Rama says, no, it is okay, thank you for giving all of this. Abdini touch pandra, doesn't accept it. Rama had a tendency to never accept anything from anybody. He would only give, never accept. Only on 2 occasions he accepted. The first occasion was when Janaka placed Sita's hand into his and says, Iyam Sita Mamasuta anu solli kaiyila kudukumbodhu Panigrahana pannar. Appo he accepted Sita's hand. The second time he will accept anything is when Shabari is going to give fruits to him. Adu accept pannipar. Adu varaikum nothing else from nobody else does he accept anything. They needed that kind of bhakti to be able to offer it to him. Bhakti matramilla oru jnanam vendirundha. Janaka was a jnani, Shabari is a jnani. Who did Rama accept from appadina? From devotees he did not accept, from jnanis he accepted. Shabari was a mahajnani. And so was Janaka Maharaja. Appo, in front of jnanis he says, all right, give, I will take, nobody else. He says, if at all you want to do something, these are my father's favorite horses. Bring good food for them. So the horses were fed. As for Rama, he drank some water that Lakshmana brought from the river. Ganga is running nearby. Ganga is nearby. And the Ganga lendu tirtham, that is all they had. Under a big banyan tree, they sat down. Rama told Lakshmana to bring the sap, the milk of the banyan tree. You cut the bark, that milk will come out, white milk. Very sticky. With that, he applied it on his beautiful locks, coiffed locks, and made them into coiled, matted locks of hair. Like tapasvis he wanted to be, Adanali, he matted his hair. Both Lakshmana and Rama did that. That night, some grass was spread under the tree, and all of them laid down on that grass itself. Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, all three of them laid down. First time, really sleeping. In the previous night, they did not sleep. They slept for a while. Next morning, they got up and told Guha, we want to cross the river Ganga. Can you convey us there? Immediately, he got some boats ready. And in those boats, he said, I'll convey you across the other side. Sumantra also wants to come. Anna, Rama says, no more. You go back to my father. Why Rama? I will come with you. King told me to come with you. He's your good friend. You know how sad he will be, how much in suffering he will be. Go and give some consolation to him. Be with him in this hour of his need. Give him my salutations. Lakshmana is very angry still. Sita is crying. They take leave from Sumantra. Sumantra doesn't want to leave Rama, part with Rama. But Rama says the forest is not appropriate for these horses and chariot and so on. We will walk. Sumantra says, I will also walk. I will send somebody back to the kingdom with the chariot. I'll come with you. No, you should not come. Please go. Rama is very stubborn. One way stubborn, other way determined. His determination was firm. Nobody could shake it. Very few people were able to shake it. Like I said, Sita was able to shake it. Lakshmana was able to shake Rama's determination. Only these two. Similarly, only Shabari and Janaka were able to make Rama accept. Now, selective worker Rama. They had the qualities to make even the Lord's heart melt. What were those qualities? Absolute selflessness, jnana. See, like I just said a little while ago, love, the love that we have for God, all of us have love. But think for a moment, really, is the love that you have enough for Him? For what He is, for what He is, for what He is capable of giving to us, the compassion and the love that He showers upon us, the love that we have in return, where is it equal? In what way is there any equality between the love that He gives and the love that we are giving? It is His magnanimity to accept whatever we give Him. But should it not mean that we should make even more efforts to give him nothing but the best from our heart. What is best love? Love is love. What is best love now? Love that does not have a trace of selfishness in it is the best kind of love. Prema that is mixed with the dirt of selfishness is like diluted milk. Milk irukku adula thanniya vittuta. You poured water into that milk, you cannot tell it apart. You cannot tell the difference. It still looks like milk only, but it is thin milk. Prema, the prema that we have is like the diluted milk. So much selfishness, a little bit. The thing with milk is, you take a glass, you take 3/4 of water and pour quarter with milk. What will happen? The whole thing will appear like milk. Milk's quality is like that. Milk's quality is such that even a little bit of milk mixed with a lot of water will still retain the whiteness, will still retain the quality of looking like milk, but that doesn't make it milk. That's prema. That is why we are not able to tell the difference. We all think we have love. It looks like love, just like it looks like milk. But there is so much water of selfishness mixed into it. How can that be called real milk? Even if Bhagavan is willing to accept it, should we give it to him? Is the question we should ask. Naturally, he is willing to put up with everything. Adhikaha, let him put up with everything. How can that be appropriate? How can that be right? That's how we've got to remember. Prema should be of such a nature like Lakshmana or Sita or Shabari or Janaka, where all four of them had the same quality. The love that these four showered upon Rama had the same quality. Later on, the Hanuman is going to get added into it. Selfishness is not there in that love. Selfishness, self-interest is not there in that love. It is not about me at all. It is only about you. Sita, not about me. I am coming so that you can have a good time. So you are comfortable, so that in every way you are taken care of. இல்லைன்னா நீங்களும் அவருன்னா சமைச்சு சாப்பிடணும் மச்சினு இல்லையா? ராமன் லக்ஷ்மணா அவர்கிட்ட குக்கர் நீட்டு அது எப்படி இருக்குமோ ஆறுகண்டா நான் பண்ணி போடுறேன். சீதா ஜஸ்ட் டு லுக் ஆஃப்டர் யூ. ஐ வில் கம். Lakshmana says, I will come with you. Why? To look after you. To do. Rama, Anna, நீங்க ஓடிட்டு இருந்தா நான் இருக்குமா அண்ணா? What is Lakshmana's thought? Okay, Sita and Rama are going. Now, suppose suddenly they need water. Who has to go fetch the water? Middle of the night, water. Rama தானே போகணும். Sita அனுப்ப முடியுமா? Sita, go get water. Rama has to go. Lakshmana is thinking, Rama carrying a pot of water and coming. அப்படியே உடம்பெல்லாம் நடுங்கிறது. ஐயோ, how can Rama be subject to this? No, I have to come. இல்லை ஒரு வீடு கட்டணும். He has to build a house. Who should build the house? Rama will have to build the house. Rama will take the hammer, டொக்குன்னு ராமர் பண்ண வேண்டிய வேலையா இது? Is this something Rama should do? அண்ணா பண்ணுறதா இது? நான் பண்ண மாட்டேனா? I should be doing it. அப்படின்னு குதிக்கிறார். Why is Lakshmana coming now? Because he is imagining Rama having to do all these chores, and he thinks, what a chore I will be if I let Rama do all these things. How can I allow Rama to do it? நான் இருக்கிறச்சே, when I am there, why should my Anna do it? அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு பாவம், பக்தி. அதனால he is running. அதனால Sita is coming. Not to be with her. If I am with you, I am happy is not their point at all. If somebody else was coming to do it with you, okay, fine. If somebody else is coming to look after you, fine, let them look after. Nobody is there. I will come. Bharata wanted to be with Rama, different story. Lakshmana wanted to be with Rama only for the sake of Rama. So what did Rama do? Rama gave Bharata 14 years of tapasya to reach the same stage, which he attains. And everything is done by Rama appropriately. They cross the Ganga river, go to the other side. அங்கே போனால் அங்கே ஒரு ashramam is there, Bharadwaja ashrama. Bharadwaja Rishi has got his ashrama there. That was the first thing they encounter. Guha takes them to the ashrama of Bharadwaja Rishi. Bharadwaja யாரு அப்படின்னா Valmiki is disciple, Mahajnani. He is also a great Jnani. The moment he sees Rama coming, he knows who Rama is. What Rishigal ellarum eppadina, all the Rishis of Dandakaranya forest, all the forest lab. Rama took on a human form and came. But even though Rama came in a human form, they knew who Rama was. like Janaka knowing him. Avarun சொல்றார், Bharadwaja comes and welcomes Rama. Come, swagatam, swagatam. Welcome to my ashram. நீ யாரு அப்படின்னா, சாதாரண ராமனா, தசரத ராமனா, அயோத்தியா ராமனா அப்படின்னா, ஜானகி ராமனா, சீதா ராமனா, விச் ராமா அறியுன்னா, அவர் சொல்றார், ஆத்மா ராமன் இல்லையோன்னு. ஆத்மா ராமா ஆனந்த ரமணா. அப்படியே you are the great delighter, the one who brings joy, delight, ananda to every heart. You are Sakshat Narayana himself. Although you are in this human form, we rishis know that you are Achyuta himself, you are Keshava himself, you are Narayana himself. You are the Lord who can destroy the fear that we have of the samsara. This bhava bhaya that we are all filled with, only you can remove this bhava bhaya. By our own efforts we cannot get too far. But if you will, our fear goes away, because when your presence is felt by us, then and there we lose fear. Adanala, for those who salute your feet, worship your feet, surrender at your feet, for them you become the destroyer of the fear of the samsara. Apairbata Adinarayana, Ananta Shayana, Sachidananda Swarupa, welcome to the ashrama. Appadinu Bharadwaja Rishi welcomes Sri Rama.
Atma Ramanandaramana, Atma Ramanandaramana, Achyuta Keshava Harinarayana, Achyuta Keshava Harinarayana, Atma Ramanandaramana, Bhava Bhayaharana, Bandita Charana, Bhava Bhayaharana, Bandita Charana, Raghukula Bhushana Rajivalochana, Raghukula Bhushana Rajivalochana, Adinarayana Ananta Shayana, Adinarayana Ananta Shayana, Sachidananda Satyanarayana, Sachidananda Sai Narayan, Atma Ramananda Ramana.
Welcomed like this. Rama tells the Rishi, I don't know what you are talking about. My name is Rama. I am Dasharatha's son. This is my brother Lakshmana, my wife Sita. We have come because my father has asked me to go into the forest. That's why I have come. I have come hoping that you will show me a place where I can spend some time, live here in the forest. Because you are a forest dweller yourself, you'll know the whereabouts. Tell me a place. Bharadwaja smiled. He said, Oho, Adinarayana, you are having this game. All right. As per your will, we will also act. We know who you are, but nevertheless, okay, if you want to be a human being, we will let you be a human being eventually. Though there you can see a hill, it is called Chitrakuta. And the Chitrakuta Parvatatala, you can go and have your residence. It's a nice place. Ramayana. Beautiful place. So they spend one night at Bharadwaja Ashrama, and then they say, all right, we will go. They leave. Where will they go next? In between, Bharadwaja also is very smart. He said, go this way. That way, if he goes, Valmiki's Ashrama is there. His Guru's Ashrama is there. He knows this Guru's greatness. There's a story that Valmiki, before he became Valmiki, was a bit of a Mickey. He was doing all kinds of mischief. But later on, by the grace of the Rishis, Sapta Rishis, he was initiated into Ramanama and constantly chanted that Rama. Avarku enna japamna Rama 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 Rama. In fact, the story goes he could not even say the word Rama first. It seems Rakara was not coming into his mouth. Adanala the rishis initiated him in a reverse way, saying, say Mara instead. He said Mara, 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 Mara. Constantly he was chanting the Taraka Namam, Ramanam. And as a result of that, he became this great rishi. Adanala for him, the delight in his life itself is Ramanamam. He would tell everybody that Ramanamam only. You also sing Ramanamam, Ni Ramanamam, Ni Ramanamam, Kirtanam Pannum. Nama Sankirtanam Pannum. He was also initiating everybody into Ramanama. Bharadwaja Rishi wants Rama to go to Valmiki's ashrama. Adanala he points the way, go this way, Swami. Rama, Lakshmana and Sita depart the next morning, and on their way they stop at Valmiki's ashrama. And even as they are coming close to the ashrama, they are able to hear the sounds. Another dhvani is going on. Enna dhvani? Sada oru dhvani da. Only one sound is going on all the time. What is that sound? Rama, 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 Rama. Rama 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 Rama
Rama Rama Rama Rama Rama Rama Tarakam Rama 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 Tarakam Rama Krishna Vasudeva Bhakti Mukti Dayakam Rama Krishna Vasudeva Bhakti Mukti Dayakam Rama 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 Nama Tarakam Rama 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 Nama Tarakam Janaki Manoharam Sakala Lokanayakam Janaki Manoharam Sakala Lokanayakam Janaki Manoharam Sakala Lokanayakam Janaki Shankaradi Sevyamana Divya Nama Kirtanam 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 Rama 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 Rama
This is the Nama Sankirtanam that is going on in Valmiki's ashrama. And Rama, with a smile, walks into the ashrama. Valmiki receives him and says, Lord, as per your divine plan, Chitrakuta is the ideal place for you to establish an ashrama and stay there for a while. Achala. Crossing the Yamuna river, they go to the other side. Already Ganga has been crossed, Yamuna has been crossed. They go there and Lakshmana builds a beautiful cottage, a Parnashala in Chitrakuta Parvatam for them to reside in. And they are beginning to live there for a while. And we will stop here for tonight. We'll continue again tomorrow. with all the upheavals that are going to take place in Ayodhya with the arrival of Bharata. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साई ईश्वरार्पणमस्तु जानकी कान्तस्मरणं जय जय राम राम